Have you been considering adding rivets to your handbags, but have held back because it's a little overwhelming? What size should you use? How do you even know what those little numbers mean? Where are you going to install them on your bags? How am I going to install them? Is this going to be another expensive endeavor into your handbag journey? Welcome to the first in a series of 4 that are going to address all of those questions for you. Hi, I'm Bonnie with Aloha Bonnie Handbags, and I am here to help you on your handbag making journey. Today, I'm going to be starting all the way back at the very beginning and showing you the exact rivets that I use and going into detail about all the numbers and the measurements that go along with rivets. Welcome to the world of rivets. They are a wonderful addition to your bag making. They can also be perhaps a bit confusing for those just starting out. There's many sizes, there's different finishes, there's double capped, single capped, decorative capped. Where do you even begin? Well, I'm just going to be talking to you about double capped rivets. That means that both sides of the rivet look the same. I go with a non-decorative, so there's no fancy shape, there's no additional little artwork or impression on it. These are my go-to, and that's what they look like. I always use these. They give a nice professional finish to my bags, and it doesn't matter what side of, if I put them on a strap, both sides will look the same. So let's talk about the parts of a rivet. So it comes in 2 pieces, okay? So 2 pieces are required for a double capped rivet. Keep that in mind when ordering. I'll talk about that in just a minute. You have the head, and then you have the post, which is this thing here, and this is the cap, which goes there. And they will fit together in your project. So you have your cap here, you have the head, and then you have the post. It's important to understand those parts because you will be ordering different sizes, and sizes of rivets are based on the diameter of the end pieces, both the head and the cap, and the post length. So that's the basic parts of a double capped rivet. So let's look here. When you order them, if you're looking at it online or you're looking at the packaging, you're going to see some numbers. Rivets are measured in millimeters. So this one says metal double capped rivets, 10 millimeter by 8 millimeter. Most often this first measurement is the diameter of the end pieces, and the second measurement is going to be your post. I highly recommend, however, before ordering from a new source, 1,000 pieces, that you double check. If you have any hesitation, to go ahead and double check what those measurements are actually measuring, especially when they are different. So this actually goes with this one. This is what they call shiny nickel. Some people refer to this color as chrome, but the measurement across the head is 10, the post length is 8. So to confirm that, I have my ruler here, And how do you measure it? You're just gonna set it across the edge, and you see that head is 10 millimeters, and the post length, I'm gonna put it right here, that post length is at 8. This is a large size rivet. Unless you go for decorative things, getting a head larger than this can be difficult to find. And then the 8 millimeter there. So that's how you measure and how you read the different sizes of rivets. So let's see something else. So this thing, it says 120 pieces, 6 by 6 M. So it also says craft studs 1/4 inch. So it's difficult to understand what they're talking about when they say 1/4 inch. So make sure that you go with the standard measurement, which is the 6 by 6. And that's these here. Okay, so they're tiny. These are very tiny, but 6 by 6 means the diameter across that head is 6 millimeters and the post length is 6 millimeters. These are very small. I use them primarily for either decorative purposes or for attaching my wooden labels. Now, I want to go back to what I talked about, pieces. This tag here says 120 pieces. That's exactly what they mean. Each rivet, to complete it, needs 2 pieces. So 120 pieces does not mean you're going to be able to make 120 rivets. It means you will be able to make 60 rivets because each rivet takes 2 pieces. Be very careful about this when ordering online. Again, sometimes there's a language barrier, or sometimes it's not crystal clear what they are referring to in the descriptions online when you are ordering. So if you have any questions or hesitation, please ask. Sometimes they will list it as pieces. Sometimes it will be listed as sets. If you're not sure what a set is, make sure you ask them. 100 sets, does that mean 200 pieces total for 100 completed rivets? Okay, so be sure to check on that. And when you're ordering, if you think you're getting 1,000 rivets, when it says 1,000 pieces, no, that means you're going to be getting 500 rivets. So that is really the basic about rivets. So you need to know what size you need here, what size you need here, and then how to read your label so you understand what you're getting, and also understand the difference between how many pieces you need versus sets versus completed rivets. So as you can see here, I have different colors. This is actually a rose gold. It's very pretty. Rose gold is very different in color depending on the manufacturer. This one looks very close to copper, to a shiny copper, but this is rose gold. It's very pretty. This is nickel. Some places call this chrome. Some places have nickel and chrome, and you can see the chrome is really high gloss and super reflective, and the nickel just a little bit less. So there are some colors where you have to really pay attention. This is a shiny gold, so a nice bright gold, sometimes bright gold, shiny gold, etc. Again, this is a color that can be very, very different from manufacturer to manufacturer. This one actually says medium. I'm sure the size specifics are on the website, but in the packaging it says medium. So another thing I wanted to bring up is this packaging said 120 pieces, and this is how it comes. I'm going to be honest and say it's very unlikely that they counted this out exactly. This one here, it states you will receive approximately 24 rivets. That's actually double. I've added more in there. The quantity of rivets was calculated by weight. So it's very likely that this is how this one was done. So they would know 60 pieces of this, 60 pieces of this weigh, let's say for example, 10 grams. 60 pieces of this would weigh maybe 13 grams, and they just measure it out and can get pretty accurate about how many pieces are in there. So when something mass manufactured, then it's very likely that it was counted by weight. This is something that I just got in the other day, and this is how it came to me, like this. So it gets wrapped up and it comes like this. She actually has somebody that counts this out by hand. These are beautiful colors. It is my go-to color and my go-to size. Now this is sold as 9mm. If you're given only one number, then it's going to refer to both this measurement, and they will be the same. So this is a 9mm rivet, double capped. So I know that the diameter of these caps and the length of this post are both 9mm. If you had to only get one size, this is the size I would recommend. It's very versatile in many applications, on straps, on double folded straps, other locations, on the bag, reinforcing corners of pockets, etc. This post length is a very good length. It works for most applications, and this is a nice size for the head. This head is a little larger, and it's depending on the look that you want. It can be a bit large for smaller purses or wallets, etc. So this is the 9mm, and like I said, if you had to choose one, then that's probably the one, the 9mm, either 9x9 or even a 9x8, with the post being slightly shorter. I hope I was able to answer questions that you had regarding choosing and starting out with rivets. If you have found this video helpful, please take a moment and share it with your handbag making friends, and also be sure to hit the subscribe button. Now that we've covered the very beginning, the next step is learning about the tools to install your rivets. The next video in this series covers the basic tools that I use every day for installing rivets in my handbags. Come join me, and as always, take a moment and share the aloha one stitch at a time.